Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm taking a deep breath because this is my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to welcome on the show the most anticipated airplane in flight sim history. I'm
Mm.
calling it right now. I can't see this any other way. The PMDG 777-300ER is the most anticipated airplane in flight sim history, and it's going to be the most downloaded plane as well over time. I have never seen any airplane come out in my 6 years of doing flight sim that my chat in my Discord was going a mile a minute even before the plane was released.
Hmm.
And then the plane got released, and there were some astonishing numbers that were announced, and we'll get into it. But from my perspective, the most highly anticipated plane ever in flights in blue. What say you, brother?
I mean, there's nothing else to be said. I mean, I don't know why we're surprised, but yeah, I mean, just tell me the numbers, XP.
So, depending on who you talk to, and there's numbers being thrown around my Discord saying that first they looked at the 737 when they released, and you know how that was. There was a bunch of errors on the servers, and people couldn't get their keys, and the activation code wouldn't work. I had to like reset that thing maybe like 15 times before I got mine. That was the 737. So they went to the drawing board and go, you know what? Let's make the server 7 times more than that for the 777, right? They had problems with the 7.3 release. They said, let's make the server not twice, not 5 times, 7 times more than what they had for the PMG 737. And guess what? It wasn't even close. They weren't ready. They weren't ready for the 7 times. It was way more than that. And so the number that somebody's throwing around in my Discord says in 3 minutes, they had 6,000 orders. And they had to temporarily shut things down, if I understand it correctly, to get caught up with those orders before they could let more in because the servers were so swamped, which is absolutely nuts to me.
Bro, that is $500,000 in under 5 minutes.
Yes. If you do the math, if you do the math, 7773. By the way, that price out of this world, perfect pricing. I was saying it was going to be $75, so I was $4 and 73 cents off or something like that. No, $2 and 73 cents off of my target. So I'd say I had a winner there as far as predicting the price on this thing. But yeah, absolutely astonishing. Perfect pricing. Nobody complained about it, which is good. And I think it's right where it needs to be, not P3D level, but not 737 level. And who would have thought that the 777 is actually more popular than the 737? I wouldn't have thought that,
I wouldn't either.
honestly.
I thought, the 7.3 being the workhorse of Boeing and the most popular aircraft in real life, I thought that, the 737 would have more sales or more hype around it, which there was. Remember, there
Right.
was a ton of hype around the 737 because that aircraft back then was actually supposed to be, the first high fidelity airliner, Boeing period at the time. Now,
Right.
this is the first modern wide body airliner, high fidelity. So, first high fidelity modern wide body airliner for Microsoft Flight Sim. It had to come about 4 years later from Microsoft first dropping, but yeah, super, super highly anticipated. I don't think we're going to see any aircraft like again be this highly, not even the A380.
Yep. I was going to say that. Perhaps the 8380, but that's a freeware project. And by the way, if they charge for it, I wouldn't be mad because what they're doing to that plane is crazy. But I think it was pent up demand for 4 years, as you said, For 4 years, people are doing long haul in the A320, bro.
That's
You
so
know,
true.
you know, and they couldn't do a real long haul, a true long haul. You have the ones, the 787 with the mod on it. You had the 74 with the mod. You had the A330 mod, but they weren't like true high fidelity planes, just a modded to the Microsoft based plane.
Like every
And you
single
had
one
to
of them
have
were Frankenstein explains.
right, and you had to have the premium package to even be able to use that. You see what I'm saying? This one is the first true high fidelity, wide body, long haul airplane capable of flying multi in the teens of hours. And people are going to be doing this. VATSIM is going to be nuts. It's already nuts, right? And I can't go stream tomorrow and fly the 737 or the A320. They look at me like I'm crazy. So yeah, never seen it. It's astonishing, man. And congratulations and shout out to PMDG for this feat, for bringing this aircraft to Microsoft Flight Simulator. And all I gotta say is, wow, I'm still stunned. I'm still stunned on that. I haven't seen one person say they won't get it or they're disappointed or usually you have people. No, actually, I lie. There was one critique saying that somehow the master caution button was too small or something. I'm like, how do you see that in two pictures? But whatever. Whatever. So, in chat, guys, I want to know what was your first route that you flew with this airplane or you're going to fly with this airplane. What's going to be your first route? I know, Blue, you flew one at Flight Sim Expo, which we got our
Yeah.
hands on, which was crazy. Then you did a long haul yesterday, Transcon from LA to Miami,
Yep.
was it? And how was that flight? How was that?
Flight was smooth. Had VNAV. um,
Oh, shots fired.
and
Woo-hoo!
it was good though. I
Jason.
mean, it was smooth. I mean, it was what you expect. Um, everything worked just fine. No issues. I had a go around towards the end of that flight, and the aircraft flew the go around perfectly when I hit the toga button. So no complaints, honestly. And as far as what I'm hearing from other people as well, I haven't heard really much grumblings of dissatisfaction. And I've heard a few things here and there about like flight model this or whatever. I think it's always going to be an issue with just anything in Microsoft Flight Sim. No one is ever going to be happy. There's also been comments about the sounds not being quite right. I think they're not bad. Again, I think it's a situation where not everyone is ever going to be completely happy. I've been content. I've been enjoying it. It kind of meets my expectations of what I was expecting from PMDG. I think it's a step above the 737, which is what I was expecting, and I think it's flyable. At the end of the day, all these people who are complaining about the 777 have already bought the 777 and are still
True.
flying the 777. There's one particular person who was very harsh on it. You remember? You know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
One particular person who was
Hmm.
very harsh on it, and he's literally streaming it again right now as we record this. And so, even though people have their preferences and this and that, and some things might not be perfect, right? It's not a perfect jet, but people still are flying it. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And at the end of the day, that's what it should be all about. It's what do you have fun in and with?
Yes.
Because there's always going to be comparisons. We can't stop them. We make them in our heads too. You know what I mean? But I think we can say, hey, two different sims, two different environment. Now, if you had the same plane from two different developers in the same sim, then of course comparisons are going to be legit. But if it's two different sims at this point, we should just drop that and you know make our observations. We understand and know. Um, PMDG played it the way I thought they would. I'm not going to say they played it safe, but they know what's in their wheelhouse, and they delivered a product that worked day one without any issues. They ironed out everything that they had to iron out. I've heard about bugs here and there, but I haven't seen it yet myself. For the one flight I did, I'll be flying it shortly. And then with them, they'll be dropping updates as they come along. They're not gonna let this thing sit. They're probably busy right now taking bug reports from people, because people go deep dive. I don't do deep dive. I just want to fly. you know, I'm
Right.
not a deep dive kind of person. You know, um, remarkable, though. Remarkable. I mean, I'm just happy for the flight sim community in general
Yes.
that we have such buzz and such hype over products that third-party developers make. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy. It's tons of years of fun to come if this is what happens. And we haven't even gotten into the 7.5s and the 7.6 and the 7.8s,
Yep.
you know, and the maxes that's going to come from third party people. I'm not even talking about Microsoft, just from third party. But
Yep.
yeah,
At the end of the
definitely.
day,
Yeah.
it's honestly to me, kind of my final thoughts on the 777 is it's a beautiful plane. I think they modeled it. They modeled it beautifully. It flies great, and when it comes to those longer flights, it's nice to sit in an aircraft that it's not bad to look at. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Oh
Very
yeah.
nice cabin as well. Beautiful wing view. I mean, I've done a few flights myself, and the place I find myself the most is actually back in the cabin, up on the window seat. And so yeah, it's been nice. Many more flights to come for sure for me.
Yeah, definitely. It's just going to be a staple. It's going to be a staple of the aircraft. Anytime you consider any flight over a certain amount of hours, it's going to be it. I heard some guy goes, "Yeah, I'm going to take it out. I'll be doing um San Diego to LA, LA Vegas," and it's like, no, no, yeah. It's going to be one of those things where people are going to demand as a streamer that you fly it. Hey,
Yep.
we're taking trip 7 out again. You know what I mean?
Yep.
When are you going to give it a break? That's the question, and go back to what? You know what I'm saying? When
That's
are you
a,
going to
that's a
give it a
good
break and go
question.
back? Go
Me and
back
you
to
talk
what?
about this all the time. Me and you talk about this all the time about when these aircraft release, they kind of have a shelf life, right? As far
Right.
as how long they're going to stay trending, how long they're going to stay popular, and many times it's like a week. Um, a really good plane, like maybe 2 weeks, right? But for this particular aircraft, how long do you think the hype is going to continue? Like, how long from the time it's released to people finally go, all right, I'm gonna go back to my 320 now. Like, how long? What do you think?
It's going to be longer than normal, and I'll tell you why. People in my chat are still flying the P3D 777 and seeing how good a plane it is. And that came out how many years ago? You see what I'm saying? So this, I won't even try to predict, but honestly, at least a month. I'm telling you.
Wow.
It might sound funny. Because again, what are you going to go back to flying? You're going to go back to your narrow body
Back to
7.3
your
or
737
A320.
we've been flying
Yeah,
forever.
exactly. Yeah, you're gonna go back
Right?
to your 7.3900. It's not gonna be the same.
Yeah, yeah.
It's I don't know, man. That's a thought-provoking question
Like the,
there.
the
Like,
question is, when are you gonna be sick of looking at the 777 cockpit? Like, when are you gonna get
true,
sick of looking at that
true.
same plane, right? All of us as flight simmers, we are very needy and we don't
Hmm.
appreciate nothing, right?
Hmm.
Real pilots are stuck in the same plane, same cockpit for years on end, right? But us
Right.
flight simmers, we want to hop in and out of one plane to the next. And so, how long until we get sick of flying the 777 and we go back to a 320 or a
Yeah.
73 or an ATR or just looking for something different again? And also, when that kind of that new car smell when that hype dies down, that honeymoon period, I should say, of the 777, are we gonna feel empty again? Right? Are we? What are we gonna do then? It's here. We've been
Yeah.
waiting 4 years for this moment, and now it's
Yeah.
here. And obviously, we're
Well,
gonna love it. But what next? What now?
I think the only thing that can kind of damper that is going to be another new plane. And which
Yeah,
which plane is closest? The MD-11 is coming out.
yeah.
The MD-11 is dropping. How good is the MD-11? Is it going to take your attention away from the 777? You know what I'm
Only
saying?
probably only if you love freight.
Right. 7.5 is coming. You know,
Gonna be a while.
A380. Yeah, A380 seems to be a while out. Don't know. That would have been a good,
Hmm.
move on. So it's tough to say, man. It's tough to say. So yeah, in the comment section, how how long you guys gonna be flying this thing for until you get tired of it? I would really love to know that. But
Yeah.
we shall see. But
We
yeah, let's all celebrate, no matter what sim you fly, that your hobby is still on top of its game to get people this excited about an airplane, which
yeah.
is good. I like it. I like it.